Thanks very much, Lou. We've got a substitute, but we've got Phil Glue with us.
Yeah,
Welcome
Louise.
back, Phil.
Not Paul, it's Phil.
Would you trust her babysitting? That's the question.
Yeah, I had to the other night, yeah.
So, a bit of news here. This is obviously our first live race for F4 since we saw the cars at Alton Park. And everyone's going to think, oh, this has just carried on, isn't it, with Thomas Behrman winning at Alton Park. And here he is on pole position. There is a bit of backstory because F4 have had 2 weekends racing away from the TOCA package, one of which was supporting the British Grand Prix weekend, which was an absolutely mega pair of races, and the other one part of the main championship where they went to Zandvoort, which was great for them to be racing on a current GP circuit. And Thomas said yesterday when I was joking with him about the viewers are going to think that you're basically carrying on where you finished off with all. Not quite the case, but he's been doing well and running strongly.
He's been doing an amazing job. Like he did the last 3 races last year. That's why he stayed a rookie. And he's obviously got some big boots to fill with his brother doing as well as he is in Formula One.
That's a difficult thing, isn't it? When you've got an older brother who's up there and made it already, the pressure then goes to him, doesn't it?
But what's great is to see the final race today, which we know in F4 is the actual qualifying result. So he's qualified on pole. He's been winning races. He's doing an amazing job. So fair play to Mr. Behrman.
Can I just big him up a little bit more? Looking at Phil McLaughlin, the championship leader, but one other nice positive for me about Thomas Behrman is that he helped the team push the car down from the paddock into the holding area. Not every driver did it. No. Quite a few did, but not every did. But Thomas did. Well done, Thomas.
In this heat as well. That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good. What a nice lad. So other drivers may or may not be able to do that, as is the case. I'm not singling out anyone for criticism or anything else, but it was good that he did that, and it shows how he works well with the teams. We need to see how they line up, though, for our final race of the weekend. This one, as Phil mentioned, based on outright qualifying. Round 21 of the Wera F4 British Championship, certified by FIA. Thomas Behrman on pole, Rowan Campbell-Pilling alongside Ethan Jeff Hall on row 2 with Fionn McLaughlin. Then it's Martin Molnar and Zandvoort, race 2 winner, Ari Bansal. Jimmy Pazik next up from Tommy Harfield. Then it's Theo Palmer and Chase Fernandez. Race winner earlier today, Adam Alazari, is on row 6 with August Raber, followed by Ella Lloyd and Yu Hao Fu. Henry Jocelyn with Xavier Avramidis. Then it's Cole Hewitson and Elba Larson. Ian Kraling next up, newcomer to the championship. Henry Mercier next to him from another newcomer, Hani Sadiq. Guy Albaj next up. And then our final newcomer is Joseph Smith, who migrates into F4 from the Ginetta Junior Championship. Big move moving up from Ginetta Junior, and you know, doing well in Ginetta Juniors is Joe or Joseph. He doesn't mind what we call him apparently, which is very decent of him, as long as we stick to that and nothing rude, obviously. But yeah, a good young lad, nice little personality. Yeah, running well, so it's not a case of a disappointing season and then switching. He's been running 4th. Or he's 4th at the moment, and makes the move. He can't go back to Ginetta Juniors because this is deemed as senior championship, isn't it? Yes,
well, it kind of is, yeah, but you've upgraded your licence up to single-seaters in British F4, so he can't go back to juniors. But why would you want to when you're now in the big league of trying to make it to Formula 1, with this being the first step in F4? And there's so many drivers that have got to the top from starting in British F4. Let's see if Joseph Smith can be one of them in the future. But I'm sure we're going to see him back next year as well. He's obviously starting out the back today, but it is his first race. And he is obviously going to be having some great information from his teammates at High Tech with McLaughlin leading the championship. So he's going to be having a lot of good data, learning lots, and hopefully we'll see him further up the grid at the next few rounds.
The view we've got at the moment, the CDR on the hoop that you can see in front of us stands for Chris Dittman Racing. You can see that actually from the little notice that comes up on screen, and that's Elba Larson, the Danish racer. I was chatting to Elba and her father earlier on, and she got speared, didn't she, in race 2. Tried to get out of it, thankfully it was okay. Chris Dittman Racing, we got the car back together, and hopefully we'll get a few laps with Elba. She's doing really well actually, and racing in the F1 Academy as well, so sort of dual campaign, so she'll do as many rounds of this as she can. I think we see her once more over the course of the season, but you know, running well in a very competitive championship.
She was very unlucky in race 2 of the weekend earlier today, where she did get turned around at turn 3. That was just a racing incident, which meant that Jocelyn and her had her coming together, but let's see what she can do in this race.
We will indeed. Very nearly ready to race here for the last time at Knockhill 2025. It was a long way to keep them going.
Oh, we've got a staller.
We have got a stall. That's worrying. And there's contact between the cars and the wall a little bit further back. Ethan Jeff Hall doesn't get away well. Now, we were looking at that, and it's Rowan Campbell-Pilling, isn't it? I think that's
He has, yeah, he's got the lead, he's got past
lead.
Bierman, so yeah, that's Jeff Hall, who's unfortunately stalled third on the grid. Campbell Pilling, who made another one of his jump starts in race
I thought you were going to say then.
No,
leave the lad alone.
I don't think he did. Fair play, he's got off the line, and I think it's all clean and safe.
Do you know what? That's a difficult thing, because you know he'll have had that in his head, and that sort of problem is so difficult, isn't it? To get it right.
Yeah.
It can be a major thing, but he's done it well. He's chatted to his dad Rory, and indeed Rowan during the lunch break, and you know Rory, I'm going to say a great racing dad, because he was keeping it calm. He's just saying, look, yeah, everyone makes mistakes. You learn more by making mistakes, and you know you just get another shot at it. And he's done it there from P2.
Yeah.
And you know, Behrman didn't make a bad start either.
No, he didn't.
Fair.
He didn't. You could see that he didn't quite make the start that Campbell Pilling did. So fair play to Campbell Pilling for getting that start, especially with his track record. But look at this. You'll see again, it was a great start from Campbell Pilling. But yeah, you can see Jeff Hall, he did actually get away and then stalled it. And then there was a bit of contact. I think that was Al-Azhari. That was race 2 winner who went up in the air after a bit of contact. But I'm so pleased none of these guys and girls had any contact with the car that was completely stationary. But the yellow flags, the marshal's doing a great job with the yellow flags. Instantly had the yellow flags to warn the other drivers that there is a car stalled.
Yeah, I mean, that was really good. Great driving by. If you're going to see the replay, the things you have to bear in mind, I mean, that was a great onboard shot that our director put in there to show you how unsighted the cars were coming up towards that stricken car.
That was super impressive. I was actually watching the marshals on the pit wall there.
Yeah.
The yellow flag came out instantly as soon as they saw that car stall. So well done to the guys here.
Yeah, we're very able to give out some stick, aren't we, from the commentary position, but it's well worth supporting what the marshals have done.
100%.
Yeah. This is on board with Elba. Oh!
Yeah, I think she's
seen the flags.
Hand in the air for us. She's actually noticed that the safety car is out, and others haven't, like Crailing. Crailing is absolutely on a mission still. He does really need to give some of those places back, but yeah, I think there may be some after-race penalties. Although Crailing does look like he's backing off there, so let's see if he did drop back and let Larson through. It didn't look like he did. Crailing, no. Fernandez is dropping down the order though. What's happened to Fernandez?
Yeah, I think Chase picked up. I think he was involved in that damage.
From with Al-Azhari, when Al-Azhari went in the air, maybe Al-Azhari and him had it coming together, and that's why Fernandez has had to pit.
Great that we've got. It's a shame now that our ITV viewers, of course, don't get to know the current drivers coming up through Ginetta Junior. We kind of introduce them into F4 to our viewers now when they make the debut, like Joseph Smith coming in down in 20th, which is great. But you've got the likes of Chase Fernandez and Ethan Jeff Hall, last year's champion, coming into F4. And it is a different discipline, isn't it? How much relearning is there for these guys moving from Ginetta, which our viewers will be familiar with, into this?
So much, because obviously a Ginetta Junior is a very much a tin-top car which rolls quite a lot. There's a lot of movement, a lot of suspension movement, whereas this is very much like a big go-kart, very stiff. There is movement, obviously, but let's see how we get on with Campbell Pilling making a great restart, trying to drop Behrman. Behrman's managed to drop McLaughlin slightly, so yeah, let's see how this fight unfolds as we go green.
Yeah, we do. So, Rowan Campbell-Pilling leads Thomas Behrman, Fionn McLaughlin, the championship leader, both overall and rookies in third, Martin Molnar fourth, Uri Bansal, the first Fortec race winner for a while, which was great to see Fortec getting back onto the top step of the podium. And I was chatting with one of the senior people from Neil Brown Engines who produced the engines, and he was saying apparently that the fastest laps within race one were all within 3/10. It's that close. Yeah. And I've said, well, that's, he was saying, and he was being very modest about saying how good the drivers are, and they are good to do that, because they're having to get in and pedal the cars, but it means the car's a good product. All the teams are doing a fantastic job this year.
Yeah, they are.
As well as the engine builders, Neil Brown.
Yeah, it is absolutely fantastic to see how close the championship is, with many drivers, many teams. As you can see here with Virtuosi and High-Tech of the Red Bull car and Molnar. So McLaughlin and Molnar going side by side as they go into turn one. McLaughlin has got the better of Molnar at the minute, but Molnar is looking very racy indeed.
Yeah, Martin Molnar in the blue and black car, the Hungarian driver, really enjoying some celebrity in Hungary at the moment, and with the recent Grand Prix out there, he was part of the National Broadcasters Grand Prix programme and was there in the build-up to it, getting a phenomenal amount of interest, and rightly so. He's a great lad, really good, personable driver, but coming under a lot of pressure here is Mona from Ari Bansal and the resurgent Fortec team. And Ari goes wide here. Is he going to be able to get the move done? Are they going to give each other room? Martin Molnar knows that he holds the key there and holds the cards as they come out of the corner, maintains the position, and now Bansal finds himself coming under pressure from Tommy Harfield, who was on the podium in the last race.
Yeah, exactly. So Molnar was all over the back of McLaughlin, then he dropped back, and then Bansal was all over Molnar, and now Harfield is all over the back of Bansal. So whenever you try and make a move or attack someone in front, you end up falling back into the car behind. So it's a very difficult situation, because look how much time Bansal has lost there.
Yeah. It's got to be defensive here from Harfield, who we keep waiting, don't we, for the Chris Dittman Racing win, and you know it's going to be on the cards. You know, if it doesn't happen this year, it'll be a shame, but it is not far away. They are very, very nearly there.
It certainly is, and I was talking to Chris Dittman just before this race as well. As you can see, Ella Lloyd going down the inside there of Pazik, who is fighting for the championship. Great attempt there from Lloyd, but no, didn't quite make it stick. But yeah, talking to Chris Dittman, and he is hoping that Harfield is going to finish the season, because he is absolutely on a roll at the minute, and there is a win coming their way as long as he can carry on doing the championship with them.
Yeah, and you know, Chris will help the drivers as much as possible to get them out there. It's obviously in his interest to do that and raise the stock for the team, as indeed Martin Molnar, as I feel, with Salim Hanna, raised the stock of Virtuosi. They had won races before with Michael Shin, and the South African lad that raced in reverse grid race wins, but they've taken the outright wins, and that, you know, to me has raised the value of what's been going on at Virtuosi. Virtuosi have given them the car, but equally the drivers have returned the favour by bagging those wins, and it's been good for the team. Yeah,
absolutely. As you can see, Al-Azhari going down the inside there. Great move from Al-Azhari, race 2 winner.
Yeah, that was on the inside of August Raber, double winner at the opening round of the year. We've got some XL formation flying down behind them, all trying to come up, with Palmer, Hewitson and Yu Hao Fu, the three normally liveried XL cars, the white, red and blue liveried cars all together, looking to try and come up. Here's a replay.
You can see, yeah, very late lunge. Raber did see him come in, but you can see Al-Azhari went to the inside curb just to give him a little bit more room, and Raber left enough space. Raber's going to now be under pressure. He's going to have to be careful not to do any more weaving, because he did get a penalty from race 2 for too much weaving and changing direction whilst defending the car behind.
Yeah, all good stuff going on there. Campbell Pilling gets the lead out to 1.075 seconds. Thomas Behrman, the leading rookie, which is significant in terms of the rookie championship.
Big moment there.
Yeah, that's Cole Hewitson, locks up, tries to go up on the inside of Theo Palmer, having a go. His car, you know, Cole at Zandvoort and here grabbed a rookie podium. He's had 2 rookie podiums, I think, since we last saw him. And he's, again, you know, these rookie drivers get into the groove, at the rhythm of it, would probably benefit greatly from another season, Cole.
Yeah, you can see those 3 XL cars fighting hard for what position are they? 13th, 14th, 15th. There's Fu all over the back of Hewitson, with Hewitson trying to attack Palmer. As we go back on board with Larson here, she goes through the chicane. Such a tricky corner, obviously completely blind, and trying to get the position of the car so you don't end up being pushed into the gravel. As we talk about the gravel, that is quite a big off there, because there's a lot of gravel. I don't know whether someone is in the, yeah, they're in the wall there. That's Mercier. Henry Mercier has gone off at the chicane, which is what I was talking about. If you get that line wrong, or I don't know whether he's maybe had a bit of contact with another driver, but he is sideways through the gravel, and that is probably going to be another safety car.
Yeah, I think it will be for Henry. Yeah, very quick deployment by the BARC race officials here at Knockhill, as we focus on Ella Lloyd, 8th position now ahead of Jimmy Pizzit, back with Elba Larson, who is still behind Ian Kraling. Met him at the start of the year at the media introductions at, I think it was in April, we had at Bicester, and he came in and it was really weird then, because he said, I'm not going to see you again until August. but in fair play to him coming up and talking to us.
He had a GB4 outing, didn't he? He actually got a podium at Silverstone not long ago.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Kraling's managed to get a few races under his belt in preparation, but real shame here for Henry Mercier. We're going to see a replay to see exactly what happened, but he is getting out of the car safely now, and we can see maybe in the background as these guys are battling exactly what happened here. There are quite a few cars together there, so it looks like
there's more to that story, isn't there?
There certainly is. Yeah, unfortunately he has hit that wall, so yeah, whether he's been pushed, we might be able to get another angle from further back to see if there was some contact to put him there.
So that we can get a quick. It was a complex recovery in this morning's race with 3 cars involved in the opening lap, and it took a while. But you know, when you've got 3 cars to recover it, the recovery crews have to make sure first of all that everybody's okay, as we did with Elba Larsen, and then get the 3 cars away to safety. So it does eat it. We don't get any extra laps or time added to the F4 races because they are timed at 20 minutes. And what would you rather be in this heat that we've got? And this is, you know, unusual heat for Knockhill meetings. Normally I've got my galoshes and everything else with me, but what would you rather be doing, racing or touring round behind the safety car? What's better in terms of heat?
To be honest, it still gets, you get quite a lot of heat soak, so you don't really want to be going that slowly because it doesn't actually cool down that much. It gives you a bit of a break with the rest of your body, so you don't get too hot by, you know, physically doing something. But so it is a break, but to be honest, the heat is still the heat. You still get pretty hot. But in single seaters, it's not too bad. It's an open. Obviously, it's open. You can lift the visor slightly just to get some air in there when it is as hot as this. But it's so strange the fact that we're talking about this sort of heat in Scotland.
Yeah, I've had 2 trips up this year, and both of them have been. One was February and it was hot, and we won't get into climate change and all that. But it's been a joy. The people have been a joy. I think what it does mean is if you come back next year, it's probably going to be biblical.
Yeah, which it has been in the past. We have been here in those conditions.
It's part of the charm of it, actually, for me, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, it's not when you get caught out there all day like the spectators, but no, what a great track. And we were talking in race 1 about whether, you know, some cars can get too fast for this circuit, but there are still overtaking opportunities here, and F4 are delivering. The car works well, the drivers understand the track, learn the track well, and are still using the track, aren't they, to be able to overtake and entertain us and compete themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we want to see some more overtaking yet. We've still got 13 minutes left on the clock, so if they do manage to clear Henry Mercy's car up, we will probably get another 10 minutes of racing, which is actually all we got in race 2 of the weekend earlier today. But yeah, there is some front end damage there. It's the front wing, but it looks like suspension is all intact, and that's why they're able to pull it off the track into a safe position. I reckon one more lap under the safety car and we should be good to go green.
Yeah, more great official work here. We saw great stuff from the marshals on the pit wall with the opening incident, and again, superb recovery work, great work from the race officials putting the safety car out very quickly indeed. Are we going to see great work from Campbell, Pilling and Behrman out front when the safety car goes? And Rowan's been in this position before. He'll be delighted to know that he hasn't had the warning for jump starts or anything. The only thing he's got to worry about now, of course, is track limits, but then everybody's got to worry about that as well. But
true, yeah. It's, he's done the hard bit, which is obviously something that he has been working on and struggling with. But we are going green this lap. That's great news, great work from the Knockhill marshals. So safety car is in this lap. Let's see what Campbell Pilling can do, and then let's see what the 2 high-tech cars behind him can do.
All 4 high-tech cars now, rookies incidentally, by the way, running with the yellow background. So if you look in there, you think, wow, you know, all first-year car drivers, which is a mega job for them and doing strongly in the championship. As Rowan Campbell Pilling coming into Taylor's the hairpin, about to climb uphill and about to launch his continued assault for that first race win. Thomas Behrman's had race wins himself, of course, already. And here we go, green at Knockhill, and looks like Behrman's had a decent restart and has a lurk, so Campbell Pilling wasn't able to shake him off the start, but maintains that lead. Phil McLaughlin still chasing. Martin Molnar is in 4th place. He's got the fastest lap as well. Molnar having a look at McLaughlin here. So Molnar quicker on the restart, can't quite do anything, but showing McLaughlin notice of intent. Ella Lloyd, we hear, has been taken out.
Oh, we'll
see it.
No, we didn't see that. No, you can see she's going slowly further back. I don't know whether she's been hit at some point, maybe through T1 or T2. But yeah, great start from Campbell Pilling there, or restart, sorry. You can see Behrman is further back, and Molnar is going for a lunge down the inside of McLaughlin as Hartfield tries to get to her on the inside of Bansal. Doesn't quite make it work. Bansal's covered that off nicely.
Yeah, it's wonderful racing from F4 here. Scotland no longer has a single-seater championship. The Formula Ford Championship came to a close a few years ago, which was a pity. We're going to have a look at, there was the incident with Ella Lloyd.
Oh yeah, we didn't see that, did we? We're looking very closely at the front pack, but yeah, you can see the McLaren livery car went off quite heavily through turn 1 as we're back on board with Larson as we go through turn 3, trying to get a good exit to have a good run up the hill here, try and get that line that we were talking about just right so you don't get fired off into the gravel. which is a good run there for Larson, and then coming up to Clark Curve, where we are uphill trying again to get a good exit so that you've got a good opportunity to try and overtake into the hairpin.
That's what they're looking for.
And that is an overtake from Harfield again, so late. And Bansal doing an amazing job there just to leave him enough space so he doesn't get wiped out, but also get enough momentum to carry on and keep the position.
Great little racers, these two. Look at them having a good old go here, go one side then the other. What can Tommy Harfield do? He feels that he's got the pace. The driver moving up from Fiesta Juniors last season, believe it or not. They're enjoying their race weekend currently. Can't remember where they're racing this weekend, but they are away and enjoying themselves. And Tommy Harfield will no doubt be looking at the results, but yeah, he's been a really good, and that's a difficult step, isn't it? Fairclough did it from Fiestas into F4, but completely different. And Joseph Lowe, yeah,
look at that, great move there. Almost works, that did, but Bansal just keeping it around the outside where you can keep enough momentum and just keep going around the outside there and make sure you keep that position. Oh, that's a bit of an overtake off the track, I think.
It's Chase, isn't it? Chase Fernandez coming through.
Yeah, not sure whether he's going to let that one go again. No, he's going to keep that position, but oh no, Larson's going back down the inside. Nice move from Larson to keep that position. I think, don't know whether Fernandez maybe thought, I better let you have that one, but no, he's coming back at her now as they go on the run up the hill over the start-finish line. Can Larson keep the inside, or is Fernandez going to try and outbrake her?
I think Fernandez just got the better of that, didn't he? Yeah, as we look at the timings. Now got Ella Lloyd, I think, immediately in front of her as well. So we go back to the race. He's going back to Elba Larson. Was chatting to her and the dad before the race, and Elba just came in to racing because a friend had a cart and she had to go. No sort of racing background.
Yeah, big lock up there as he was trying to pass McLaughlin. I thought he was going to go for a move, but McLaughlin just covers it off nicely, just in time.
That's the battle for the championship lead, isn't it? There is a gap between the pair, but effectively that's what that battle is.
Yeah. As Molnar gets fastest lap there with that lock-up.
Yeah, so he's got pace. We know that Tommy Harfield's got pace as well. Harfield dropped back a little bit from Bansal, who's now the white and red Fortec car closing in on the black and blue 24 of Martin Molnar. So Tommy Harfield having a little bit of a breather before he decides to attack again in a moment.
Here we go, that's Sadiq and Smith there battling further back.
Yeah, two newcomers, but a bit of bragging rights for who's going to be the top newcomer out of those two. Josie Smith, we mentioned, Hani Sadiq, the Pakistani driver. Warm welcome to the championship to Hani.
Whoa, big slide, that's exactly that.
Stewardson again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. He keeps, I don't know whether they've got the brake bias set up wrong there, because he keeps backing it in like a go-kart as they're coming into the braking zone of the hairpin, but yeah, it's not quite worked out, but well, I think it might have done actually with the Hewittson's now got in front and Palmer's now further back, so we'll have to see that again, but yeah, backed it into the hairpin and managed to get it all under control before wiping his teammates out.
Proper little character is Cole Hewitson, you know. I mean, there are a lot in the paddock, but he's a proper. Have you spoken to him?
I haven't spent.
He's definitely worth a natter. Is Cole? He's a great lad and full of personality. I'd love to see him do it. Look at you, wonderful stuff. That is him.
He's managed to get it all stopped, and then I see what happened here later on. So Palmer's been squeezed onto the grass,
Reba.
and that's why Hewitson has managed to get a run on them all.
Yeah, good stuff. Here's the race. Talking of good stuff, race lead, another replay.
Oh, I think there's a bit of damage. A replay. I think I saw that. Yeah, that was one of the Rodin cars, newcomer.
Guy Albaj.
Albaj, yeah, he's got a puncture, I think, or suspension damage where he had a bit of a moment through the chicane. But Campbell pulling away nicely here with Behrman in second and McLaughlin in third.
Albaj was with us at the Grand Prix meeting. I don't think he raced at Zandvoort, but nice to have him along here for the resumption of the second half of the season as we look at McLaughlin and Molnar again fighting it out for serious championship points here. At the moment McLaughlin has got a decent lead, but again Molnar has a look. If nothing else, he's just giving it, well, he's messing his tyres up.
To be fair, he's actually made that one work there. He's actually got a run on McLaughlin, because McLaughlin, even though he covered it nicely, he still had a bit of a moment on the exit, but he still kept the position. Molnar's still behind, but Molnar needs to just do something a little bit different. He's done that sort of half-hearted move 3 times now, so he just needs to, I think, send it down the inside and try and get it stopped in time. But yeah, McLaughlin's going to know what's coming. He's not daft. He's going to see what Molnar can do, and he'll have it covered each lap.
I think the Formula is in a really good place, Phil, at the moment. The cars are great. The the specifications, the teams are all contributing to the championship well, and the drivers very equally matched. And you can see this proper racing to treat the Scottish fans today. Here comes Molnar again, hard on the brakes, gets his nose in front.
He has, and then, contact! Oh, they've taken each other out. Not sure what McLaughlin did there, but it looked like Molnar's done the move, but then they've got caught on each other and wiped each other out.
How are you going to feel if you're Martin Molnar and McLaughlin takes the championship by a limited number of points after that?
Is that McLaughlin out as well, though? He's stuck on the grass, so Molnar needs to try and get some points, although he's down in 18th
He's way
now.
out, isn't he? Top 10 is points, so he's going to be well away from the... But yeah, that could be a key moment in the championship.
Yeah, it certainly can, yeah. It's real shame that, because I thought it was a great move from Molnar, but we'll have to have another look at it and see exactly what happened, because Molnar went down the inside. Great move, a big lock-up.
But he's clear at that point, isn't he?
I think that was just an innocent mistake where McLaughlin was trying to tuck up behind him because there was no way of him getting back in front, and unfortunately has just timed it wrong and caught his front wheel on Molnar's rear. You can see now they're running side by side. Yeah, just a bit clumsy, to be honest, but everyone managed to avoid each other. There was no contact other than the initial one between those pair. But we'll see it one more time here. Yeah, they got caught on each other quite early as well, didn't they? It's amazing how rapid they both got spun round.
And it puts them both out of the point, so the championship pretty much stays as it was. Jimmy Pazik, you would think, would be the main benefactor of that, third in the championship, but he's outside the points at the moment, Phil. So the top three, the only person really that benefits is going to be Tommy Harfield, because Tommy, where's he? He's down in 6th place. I mean, that's modest points, 6th place, not big points. No real big shake-up in the championship points.
Yeah, exactly. Where's Harfield in the championship? He's
Harfield's 4th, 139. Jimmy Pazik 187. Big gap back from Jimmy P to Tommy Harfield at the moment.
So Bansal and Jocelyn, they collected some positions there with Ella Lloyd off in the gravel there again through the chicane. Not sure if that was all by herself once again, but it's catching a few people out today. It's one of the hardest corners on the calendar.
Wondering whether they'll red flag it, because if the car's in the gravel, you're thinking safety car, and the organisers may well red flag this, which isn't how Rowan Campbell-Pilling will want to win, but he did all the hard work. He did the proper start, did the proper restart as well, and has pulled out 1.6 seconds. That's what we have to remember as we ride on board with Elba Larsen again. Here is Rowan Campbell-Pilling coming up. Talk of the man himself. Green flags at the moment, as you can see, as they come out of the hairpin zone up the hill under the Beatson's Bridge. That car still stranded. Replay.
It's all by herself, yeah. She's just taken too much of that curb, and it's just sent the rear around and put her in the gravel. So, yeah, we have got half the track under yellows, but now it's all under reds. So red flag for the race now. So that is going to be the end of the race. And with obviously 2 minutes left, but yeah, there was no point with yellows at the last corner.
Sensible decision.
And yellows at the chicane. There wasn't much track to go racing, so what's the point?
Yeah, it's congratulations to Rowan Campbell-Pilling. He's got that first win. I thought it was going to come earlier in the season, but Thomas Behrman, I feel for a little bit, you know, it's kind of reversed the way things have worked out. Rowan was on pole for race 1 of the weekend. We saw Finn McLaughlin win it, and of course Rowan ended up in 3rd with a penalty for the jump start, but now he's got that win, and I don't think he's going to look back now.
Yeah, no, that's really good for Campbell-Pilling. He needed that after a lot of silly mistakes, especially in his 2nd year of racing. So I'm really happy for him and his family and the team for getting that result, and that's a great, solid win from Campbell-Pilling.
It is, and he will come in. The JHR team will be thoroughly delighted with that one. Can't wait to hear him, actually. It's going to be good to hear him. Great 2nd position for Thomas Behrman. Really good, strong performance from Thomas all weekend as well. Ari Bansal up on the podium. We mentioned the reverse grid race win for Fortec, but outright podium as well. And he's kind of asserted himself, hasn't he? Bansal was not team leader, that's the wrong word, but prolific in terms of, you know, who to watch out for now in Fortec.
Absolutely. I mean, I've heard his name quite a few times leading up to this. Before he actually started racing, and I've heard how quick he is. He's doing a lot of testing with R, Boyo's team, getting him up to speed in the F4 car, and now he's joined the championship with Fortec and doing an amazing job.
Absolutely brilliant to see. That's not good to see. Fionn McLaughlin, the personable youngster, say, racing in the colours of Red Bull. Great to see so many drivers that have that tie-in with manufacturers further up the ladder. Elba Larsen, we were talking about, is a Ferrari development driver now as well. They've recognised that women's sports are important in terms of racing and driver development, which is great. Ella Lloyd, obviously, in the McLaren colours, and long may that kind of thing continue. So round 21 of the Wera Tools F4 British Championship. It's a win, the first win in the championship for Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Thomas Behrman second from Ari Bansal. Then it was Henry Jocelyn and Adam Al-Azhari from Tommy Harfield in 6. Xavier Avramides second in the rookies, and he finishes 7th. Yu Hao Fu, great 8th position for him. Theo Palmer, 3rd in the rookies, takes 9th, and the top 10 completed by August Raber. Jimmy Pazik, 11th from Chase Fernandez and Cole Hewitson. Ian Kraling in 14th on his debut weekend. 15th on his debut weekend was Joseph Smith from Elba Larsen. Hani Sadiq 17th, ahead of Martin Molnar, who was a lap down. Guy Albage next up from Finn McLaughlin. We saw, sadly, as non-classified finisher, Henry Mercier, Ethan Jeff Hall and Ella Lloyd all having issues, very sadly. 3 events to go for the F4 British Championship. Table looks like this. McLaughlin 40.5 points clear now of Martin Molnar, race and a half effectively. Jimmy Pazik is in 3rd from Henry Jocelyn and Tommy Harfield. August Raber in 6th, Thomas Behrman 7th from Adam Al-Azhari. Ethan Jeff Hall in 9th, and your top 10 completed by Rowan Campbell-Pilling. The rookies headed by Finn McLaughlin could possibly wrap it up next time out at Donington. We'll have to do the math, though. Then it's Thomas Behrman and Theo Palmer 2nd and 3rd. Challenge Cup headed by Tommy Harfield. He might switch from Challenge Cup next time. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case. 2nd, therefore, Ella Lloyd from Ari Bansal, Alba Larsen and Charlie Edge in 5th. That's what victory looks like. We'll hear what victory sounds like in just a couple of minutes. Please stay with us.